PHD Manchild. Now, first video in a long time. I'll make another one very shortly. It's going to be pretty cool. Gunpla, the community. There's videos going out in response of the argument snappers versus painters, and everyone's putting a bit of their opinion. I haven't seen a lot of the videos. Justin's one, Justin Builds, that was pretty grouse. Sort of touched on some of the elitist side of the hobby and some of the assholes. Everybody else is sort of going into some superficial shit. Now, the argument's all based off a fucking cartoon, for Christ's fucking sake. This debate or issue has been around for a very long time, well before I entered the hobby. I was well aware of it 10 years ago, forum hopping, and I'm sure there's people that can trace it back to older forums that would have an idea. Now, what I've been told is one of the episode of Build Fighters, a fucking commercial by Sunrise flogging Bandai's products. Someone said, know your place, Snap Builder. No. Stupid catalyst for an argument. Now, a lot of snappers probably upset. A lot of builders are upset of behaviours of snappers, and snappers outnumber builders. Now, Bandai do not give a fuck. They design a product to be like a toy that goes together very easily for the majority of the masses to build and do whatever they want, from ages young as 10. Now, a 10-year-old in Japan, Southeast Asia, is fully capable of building 90% of Bandai's products, excluding some B Club resins and the special edition kits that need gluing and the vintage stuff. Everything else, they just follow the instructions. You know, don't take little kids for granted. They play Minecraft and shit. Now, a lot of experienced builders are getting butthurt. Now, they need to shut the fuck up because they normally get the limelight. They spend 1, 3, 6 months on a build. They post it up there. Goes in, you know, the coverage of the Bandai World Cup. And they have their own little communities out there. Most countries, Malaysia, Indonesia, Australia, the United States, Italy, a lot of those places have their own forums or Facebook group or something where they can get together, support their snapper friends and show off each other's work and build as a community. They also mix into international communities. Now, a lot of these tight-knit communities are normally quite good. They're self-regulated. They've got a reputation among each other. They're there to help each other out. Sometimes in a nation, communities will break into 2, 3 groups because conflicts of ideas clash, and sometimes toxicity may seep into a community and people go, fuck that, sick and boat, get the fuck out, because a few assholes ruin the pudding for everybody. But more or less, if you engage the community as a whole, a big international stage, large Facebook groups or Gundam Guy comment pages or large blog spots, YouTube comments, when you're fairly anonymous, you're not pushing your work forward and you're just commenting on the series and models, is a very foul, disgusting, fucked up community. I hate that aspect of the Gundam and Gunpla community. I hate most of it. Because people hiding behind their anonymous shroud, they're able to post and be cunts and whatever. There's a few people that do have a reputation that backstab and fuck with people as well. These individuals are normally snappers or lower level modelers, and they build a community around themselves, and they somehow come across something that's very popular in a country or an international stage setting. I will give the example of It's a Gundam, the Facebook group. A lot of people may be familiar with that one. Very, very toxic community. They have had a few competitions, a few run-in, lots of controversy, but they're popular. They're easy to find on Facebook. A lot of people join, and a lot of people troll, fight, and have a lot of pity discussions about qualities of models or very basic subjects about the animation, whatnot, and rarely get into the finer detail and discussions of the hobby itself, the process of building the kit, be it from the real basics to the slightly more advanced stuff. But more, it's a power hold for the individuals administrating it or running it. They're able to pass judgment on people, what behaviour and discussions is acceptable and what's not, which becomes less of the community and more about how hard you can stroke your cock in front of other people. And this is fairly disturbing. So all I'm saying is that there is no fight. There is, in the subject of what we are scale modelers, or model builders, or toy collectors. More or less, we're all modelers because we're getting something out of the box that's on a runner for many parts, cutting them out, sticking them together. Now you stick them together with nubs sticking out and seam lines, and you think it's cool, and you put it in your shelf, and you're like, yeah, fucking proud of myself. Cool, man, choice, whatever, fuck you. I've seen people do that in other modelling. I've seen people, wargamer collectors, that have legions and legions of bare metal figures sitting on a shelf. And I've seen people who build military models in tan or grey styrene and just put it on the shelf, built. I don't want to paint it, I just like how it is. Cool. I went through my father's toy box when I was quite young, and he had just snapped the models in there, never painted them. I painted them later. It's just whatever the fuck you want to do, man. It's in the end is a hobby. So you get your scale modelers, and that encompasses everybody. In our community, Gundam modelling, snapping, because you're able to snap the kit together and it makes a glorious snap sound, no glue or anything, we're calling these people, or the sub-culture and community of our group, snappers, because they snap the kit together, they remove the nubs, clean it up, sometimes they don't, panel line it, Gundam market, stickers. It sounds like a lot more work to me than just snapping something together towards the instructions. I've seen snappers customise kits, swap heads, swap arms, swap weapons. You know, that's what they want to do, and they can be a bit annoying to advanced people. We just need to shut the fuck up and move on to different forums and groups that suit our needs better. But they're very happy. They snap a kit together. They all look the same. They put it online. They're proud of themselves. Good. They should be proud of themselves. That's probably one of the first things they've actually creatively created. Some people build a Lego model, and they're just following the directions. And how many people build the same Lego Star Destroyer, and they all come out the same? You know, it's an achievement. They've done something. Some people finish high school and they've never done anything creative in the three-dimensional aspect until they've built their first Lego Gundam whatever, and they're proud. And you know what? If you can't be happy for them, don't fucking comment. Fuck off. And yeah, there is a lot more snappers, and a lot more snappers are posting more pictures than scale modelers. If you aren't happy, there's a lot of communities out there where it's just about elitism, and people sit around in the circle and they pull each other off, and they tell you to fuck off if your modelling quality is not high enough. You can go play with them. Or there's a lot more decent communities where they encompass everybody with work in progress of modifications, painting, building, and 90% of the work is built, painted, modified, or at least a really, really nice high quality snap model, where they go to the effort of cleaning the nubs, changing the finish, top coat, stickers, Gundam markers, whatnot. Some of those models can be done at a very high standard. Sometimes it's a challenge for an experienced modeler to just snap a model together, fill the seam lines, change the finish, but never using paint. I actually refused one of these challenges recently because of the amount of work it involves, and the fact that I'm very busy with other challenges and personal projects and whatnot. So I gave that one a miss. With advanced modelers, obviously they put more time, effort, money, whatnot, and they've got all sorts of reasons why they want to push themselves. Some people go to another category, so they've got scale modelers. Encompasses everybody. Snappers, which we've forced a title on a group of people that probably don't even want to be called that. People that don't paint their kits. And then you've got your competitive scale modelers. Now these are the people that would probably gather as many tools, techniques and styles as possible. They build their kit, they fill the seam lines, they modify it, change it, scratch build, paint it, enter it in competitions, and actually compare their model off a standard of their peers and see who rocks up on the day, produces the best piece of work, and gets a title so they can stand around and people expose their dick and go, 101. Pretty much. So it's a wank fest. The hobby is all about ego and wank festing and cock testing and comparing sizes and whatnot. It's quite a egotistical hobby, and fuck, I love the attention. I love when I do well in the competition, win, lose or draw. I like it when people appreciate my models, and it's the same with the snappers. It's the same with competitive modelers, non-modelers, anyone that stands on the world stage and goes in a public forum and exposes themselves and shows their model to show off, more or less is out there to show what they've produced. And I reckon, regardless of what they are, what the fuck they've been labelled, if you don't like it, you got nothing nice to say, you do not deserve to criticise. Pretty much, I think there's a saying that goes that if you cannot handle my Lindsay Lohan, you do not deserve my Beyonce. So when these people are teething and growing and graduating from different steps of levelling of modelling, and you're there at the start and they produce something riddled with seam lines and nub marks and whatnot, and you go, it's rubbish, you need to clean this, clean that, this, that, and you can't say anything nice about it, and they improve as a modeller. Well, fuck you. You don't deserve it when they're quite good. So, in conclusion, what I believe from this whole ridiculous topic that's been swinging around the fucking wind like a hairy, smelly cock for so long is everyone's in the hobby. People want to be on the world stage. They don't. You want to be on the world stage, you take criticism, you take trolling. But you shouldn't really be criticising or trolling these people, because you could put a lot of work, 6 months in the model, and people just say stupid shit or bring up a completely irrelevant topic. I have to admit, there was a time I posted a brand new piece of work. I think it was a work in progress, this close to finishing, for a competition. And I put it up there, and I'm thinking, you know, some of my friends will say some smart ass things like, top deck, or like, oh shit, you know, but they're my friends, I know they're fucking around. But I had some people I didn't know look through my Facebook, and I saw that I've got a certain opinion that I do not like. The store Hobby Link Japan, I think I had a banner that said like fuck 'em or something. And then he was like, it's bypassing the work, just right on the thread saying, why do you hate them? And it just turned into a roaring discussion. And I'm like, fuck you, man. Like, I just posted some work. What the fuck should you care if I like something or hate something? It's just an intimate fucking shop that you can shop with that, you know, fucks up communities slightly and have had a bad run-in, you know. Like, I don't care if you cock worship them, but fuck off. So, yeah. Everyone is a modeler. Doesn't matter how low to how high. Doesn't matter if they just trunch out the same amount of models for the past 20 years and have not improved the miracle that they enjoy it and showing off their stuff. They might enjoy just reviewing models and saying, you know, these are all the function, the weapons, the reviews and whatnot, not improving at all. And they're happy doing that. Cool. Or people that build every single model. Every model they're testing a new technique, a new style, learning something and pushing themselves further for a competitive realm. Or if you just like building models to the very best of your ability, enjoying it yourself on a shelf, never taking models, and never showing people off, is all fine. These are my opinions. I will repeat myself. The discussion is pretty fucking stupid, very petty. I think everybody's thinking way too highly of themselves. I'm thinking way too fucking highly of myself. I think we all need to bring ourselves down a peg. I think if we don't like what the main stages are doing, some of these really big mega giga forums and Facebook groups, if it's all about really petty anime discussions or modelling discussions or showing off snap kits, and you don't like that, move the fuck along. There is like 30, 35 active Facebook groups, and there's probably still 10, 15, 20 in English modelling forums that are somewhat active. If they're tied to a country, like a UK modelling forum or an Australian modelling forum or an Indonesian modelling forum, just because it's got a country attached to it and you're not of that nationality, but it's in English, doesn't mean you're not invited. These communities will have an absolute kick that a complete outsider from another country that wants to contribute in their group builds, discussions, and showing off their models. Gets a bit trickier when it's in a native tongue, but if you happen to speak and write in that native tongue, they'll probably just enjoy it because you share that sort of camaraderie shit with them. So explore communities, find something that fits. If you hate snappers, find a community that hates snappers. If you want to be an elitist, find an elitist community and circle jerk away. And if you want a normal community that encompasses all, has a lot of building, a lot of painting, and helping the community rise by helping each other out and having active discussions and tutorials and teaching each other, they're out there. Just look for them, and if you want some advice, I can tell you at some of the places I fucking hang out at. PHD Manchild, touching on this very belated shitty topic off a fucking toy commercial. And yeah, peace the fuck out, and for fuck's sake, be nice to each other, or you're not going to have a good time in the community.